Tata, amor. Tata!
Carl here from Brrraaains Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. Horror movie review time, talking about something that was a nice surprise. It's Virus 32, from an idea by Juma Fode and a story by Gustavo Hernandez, who also directed it. Virus 32 is an outbreak infected Argentinian horror movie that owes a lot to 28 days, weeks later. Iris, played by Paula Silva, is basically a deadbeat mom, for the lack of a better term. Having suffered the tremendous loss of her young son, she went off the rails and has been neglecting her daughter Tata, played by Pilar Garcia Ayala. Her estranged husband Javi, played by Franco Villa, has been given her as much space as possible, but has basically gotten tired of her lackluster excuses and lack of time spent with Tata. Needing to take an exam, he drops Tata off with Iris, who forgot she was supposed to look after her today, and now she needs to go to work. She's a security guard at an old rundown athletic club, and knowing she'll be alone all night, decides to take Tata with her. She treats her more like a friend rather than a mother, something that you can tell bothers Tata, but clearly as well she loves her mother. All of this detail is laid out in the first act of Virus 32, and it's well done because it connects you to both Iris and Tata immediately. This is really important because an unknown infection is spreading throughout the city. We see that in elements at the start of the film, unbeknownst to Iris and Tata, who are inside the club. The infection basically turns a person into a mindless, raging beast with one goal: to beat, maim and kill uninfected people, something that the virus seems to be able to sense. Now, when I tell you that, when I speak those words out loud, I know it sure does sound like 28 days, 28 weeks later, right? Except, the Virus 32 has its own trick, and that relates to the number in the title. For 32 seconds, after an infected has attacked a victim, they will become completely placid. The truth be told, I think that sounds unnecessarily complicated, and I think it can be easily picked apart too. However, thankfully, the movie doesn't overuse it, choosing instead to use the 32-second angle for some high-tension moments at the end of the movie. It works because these infected are terrifying creatures, and the why and the how of the virus just keeps the viewer in the dark. Which does help us connect to Iris and Tata even more, because they're in the dark too as they attempt to survive within the old club as the infected start to find their way inside. Listen, Virus 32 is a fantastic movie in my opinion, but not necessarily for the reasons you might expect. On the one hand, it is grim and horrific, telling its infection story with energy and not shying away from the horror that can be dished out by such a thing. On the other, Iris and Tata's plight for survival and how the latter realises that she has to step up and protect her daughter is where the movie excels. The pair are brilliant, great characters and great actors, really, really watchable. But also, seemingly knowing that they might not be able to sustain the runtime alone, around the halfway point, a character called Lewis, played by Daniel Hendler, is introduced. He's another uninfected who breaks into the club with his pregnant wife, hoping to find somewhere safe to hide while she gives birth. His arrival actually improves an already great movie, and alongside Iris is involved in some of the tensest moments of it. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I am referencing the pool section, the flares in the pool, the dry pool section. That was awesome. Speaking of which, that's one bit of many, many moments. Virus 32 is all about tension and keeps you on the edge of your seat throughout. It's a thrilling mix of hide and seek, stalk sequences, many frantic races to survive, an immense, already said, swimming pool flare sequence, and a heart-stopping finale that are just some of the memorable moments from this movie. Yet it is a film packed with them, all enhanced by incredible atmosphere and created by some well-done shots and angles. There are so many moments where I stopped and was like, oh man, that shot was amazing, or that angle was brilliant. I love the intro, for example, where the camera doesn't cut once as we follow Iris and Tata across the city. Brilliant stuff. Regardless of how much it owes though, because I cannot get away from this, it owes a lot to 28 days 28 weeks later. Regardless of that, though, Virus 32, I think, stands on its own 2 feet by being a quality movie. One that delivers legitimate horror, while giving you, and this is so important for any movie, let alone horror, giving you characters that you care about. I think you should check this one out. I really enjoyed it. Virus 32. Check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?